Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for 2 weeks, but mainly for the week of April 6th, 2016. But I am going to include last week's books, which is the... Hold on, I'll have it in a second. The 30th of March. It was a very tiny week last week, yeah, I didn't have time to do it because our books were delayed, so I didn't end up getting my books until Wednesday, and due to not having time and being sick over the weekend, I didn't have a chance to do it. So I'm going to lump it in real quick with this one, so I'll get to the March 31st or 30th books first. So first up we have on the pull list Aquaman 50. I went ahead and read it, enjoyed it. It was cool seeing Mera as Aquawoman. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Next up was Batman Eternal number 26. I got caught up and I finished it, and it's really good. Yeah, definitely enjoyed Batman and Robin Eternal. I plowed through it last weekend. So yeah, good times. Next we have Faith number 3. I got caught up with Faith. Enjoy it so far. Can't wait to see how that miniseries kind of ends up. Next up we have Justice League of America number 8. I'm not completely impressed with Justice League America number 8, but we'll see. I'll finish it out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next up, we have Omega Men number 10. Really good stuff from Tom King. Just been enjoying that series. It's going to end soon with Before Rebirth, but hey, it works. I did pick up a graphic novel last week, and that was the Walking Dead, Volume 25, No Turning Back. This one is actually shrink wrapped, which is weird for a trade paperback, but it's shrink wrapped for a reason, and I'm going to open it right now to show you why. It comes with this little, hey, it's a fake cover, but it comes with a Outcast number 1 coming soon to Cinemax. Basically reprint of issue 1. So yeah, I already own issue 1, so this isn't for me, but if anyone's curious about Outcast, hit me up in the comments. Maybe I'll ship you this. I don't need it. So yeah, so basically there we go, there's the actual trade. Can't wait to read that, get caught up. Walking Dead this past weekend was hilarious. It was so awesome. Spoilers, but I laughed my ass off when it ended. Just because everybody who's watching the show is like, oh my god, who did he, oh my god. But if you haven't watched the show yet, I highly recommend you do. It's great. I can't wait to see what happens in season 7. Curious to see what direction they take from here. I did have a couple of books on my read list last week, and the first one was Daredevil number 5. It's okay. It's not the best thing in the world. It's not as good as the other stuff, which is kind of disappointing because Charles Soule is a lawyer and he's writing a lawyer character. Then next up we have Star Wars Darth Vader number 18. Yeah, just really solid Star Wars Darth Vader stuff. If you have not been reading it, I highly recommend you go and find the trades, because it's really good stuff. So that's it for last week. The cat is actually wandering around. You couldn't see it because it's not in camera view, luckily enough, but the cat is wandering around my work area right now. You are a pain in my ass, cat. A pain in my ass. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Hey. You want to say hi? Say hi. Don't. Say hi. See? Right there. You're right there. I'm just going to punch me in the face. Get out of here, goober cat. Alright, so we had a tiny week last week, which means this week is fucking-enormous. So let's get to it. So my pull list for April 6th. First up, we have Detective Comics number 51. Looks like it's a Gordon story. I'm caught up with Detective. Really enjoy it. It's really good stuff. Next up, we have The Discipline number 2 from Peter Milligan. Read the first issue. Was curious to see where it goes. It's weird. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but enjoy it so far. A new #1 from Nick Spencer in Image, The Fix. I love Nick Spencer, so I wanted to give his independent stuff a try. Next up is a book that will cost you $15 if you decide to get all 3 covers that are probably on the shelves, and that's Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad April Fool's Day Special. Because pinned by Jim Lee. Awesome, awesome. This is the regular cover for it. I will show you the other covers later, but there's 2 other covers that I picked up, and yeah, I'll show them to you later. Next up, we have Justice League Darkseid War Special #1. Darkseid War has just been an amazing, amazing story. Johns has just done a great, great job writing Justice League. I'm kind of bummed to see him off of stuff going into Rebirth, but we still have a lot of books that no creative teams have been announced, and hopefully he continues to write. Next up is a book that was delayed. We actually didn't get it in our shipment yet again, and that was Saga 35. So we finally got it in this week, so I snatched up my copy. And then if you didn't get enough Suicide Squad with Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad, the new Suicide Squad #19 is out today. It's been okay. It hasn't been great, but I've been enjoying it for the most part. I'm really excited for the Suicide Squad coming out in August with the DC's Rebirth. The creative team is just amazing. And yeah, how do you sell a Suicide Squad book? I don't know. Put Jim Lee on it. Next up is Swamp Thing, #4 of 6. Looks like Alec Holland is going to be battling the Swamp Thing, and that's because he's no longer the Swamp Thing. He switched out for, yeah, I got tricked. But we'll see how that pans out. And then the 2 covers for Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad that you haven't seen are the lovely blank cover. Awesome, awesome stuff right there. And then there is I think it's Cheeks. Cheeks is going to be, I think, DC's version of Scotty Young. Cute little cover. I love Harley. I love Suicide Squad, so I picked all of those up. So that's it for my pull list. I did grab 2 graphic novels that came out today. A ton of graphic novels that came out. There was a nice, I think, Wicked and Divine hardcover that came out. A couple things from Marvel came out. I think Invincible Iron Man hardcover, Volume 1, for the new Bendis stuff. But just a ton of graphic novels. So go to your local shop, check that stuff out. If you're curious, if you go to conspiratorbrock.com, just below my pull and read list, there's a link to Comics Conspiracy's new releases page, so go check that out. But the graphic novels I picked up was The Batman Adventures of Volume 4. This finishes up the Batman Adventures from that era. So yeah, I haven't even cracked open Volume 1, but now I have all of it, so I can peruse and finish it when I want. Next up is a book that I've really been excited for, and I can't wait to read, and it is Wonder Woman Earth 1 by Grant Morrison with art by Yanick Paquette. Awesome team of creators there, and I hope it transfers over, but looks amazing. Cannot wait to dive in, because all of the Earth 1 books have been just really good stuff. So that's it for my pull list and graphic novels and all that stuff. Next up is the read list. These are, again, the titles I bring home to read, check out, and stay current on. First up, we have Black Panther #1. Yep, it's another #1 from Marvel, so we'll see how it goes. We got Black Widow #2 next up on the list. I'm really curious to see if this has more dialogue and exposition than the last issue, because there was barely any. Next up is a new Mark Millar book with art by Stuart Immonen, and it's from Icon. It's Impress #1. Give it a shot, see what it's like. We got shorted and damaged. All our copies of Grayson 18 that came out 2 weeks ago, so I snagged that to check it out. Next up, we have Green Arrow #51. Percy's continuing his story, and it's been good stuff from Green Arrow. Even after Lemire left, I've been really enjoying the Green Arrow book. Next up, we have Green Lantern #51. We'll see what happens without Jordan in that, considering he's, guess what, going to be leading the Green Lantern Corps again. Next up, we have Invincible Iron Man, and yes, that is a tagline, The Road to Civil War 2. We are getting closer and closer to Civil War II, so all the Marvel books are going to basically be telling you that. Next up is a book I'm really looking forward to. It's Old Man Logan number 4. It's good stuff. If you have not picked up Old Man Logan or tried it, Jeff Lemire's knocking it out of the park with that title, and I highly recommend it. Next up we have number 1 from Aftershock, and it's a creator that I really enjoyed his run on Suicide Squad, and that is Adam Glass's Rough Riders is coming out from Aftershock. Looks to be really interesting, kind of historical fiction stuff, so looking forward to that. Next up we have Scarlet Witch number 5. I've been enjoying Scarlet Witch. It's okay. See how the next story arc plays out for that one. Next up we have the Miles Morales in the Marvel Universe Spider-Man number 3. Apparently he's hanging out with Miss Marvel. Next up is a book that I recommended on the Comic Conspiracy episode 255 that we just finished recording this evening, because I snuck in some random picks from this week. So yeah, and that is Star Wars Poe Dameron number 1. If you liked Poe Dameron from the Star Wars Force Awakens, you should really check that out. If you just like Star Wars, you should really check it out. Next up is Superman 51. The Super League is forged. Apparently this is tying into what's going to happen with the DC's Rebirth, and if you haven't noticed, the numbering is back. So this is number 1 in the Superman crossover stuff. So if you like it, you should look out for number 2 on another issue. Next up we have Uncanny X-Men number 6. I've been enjoying Uncanny X-Men. It's pretty fun. This is the X-Men Apocalypse Wars book, so we'll check out and see where that goes with that. And then finally on my read list is Vision number 6, Tom King's excellent book at Marvel, and probably one of the best books coming out of Marvel right now. And if you have not read it, it's tough to track those early issues down, but I think a trade should be coming out fairly soon. There was a couple titles that we did not have enough copies of for me to check out, and hopefully I'll be able to check them out next week. But that was Archie number 7. We got Batman Beyond number 11. A new number 1 from DC called Bloodlines, which is based on that really crappy stuff from the 90s Bloodlines. So I'm curious to see if it's any good. But yeah, we'll see. The next up on the list is Midnighter number 11. And then we have Sheriff of Babylon number 5, a Vertigo title that I've been enjoying when I can check it out. And then last but not least, we have Spider-Man 2099 number 9. So those are the rest of the titles on my read list. Jesus, there's a lot of books I need to read this week. Like I feel so good getting caught up with things, and then now I'm behind. I caught up with all of my DC. All of my DC is done in the box to go into my collection. All that stuff is done. Independent's a different story, and I just finished getting through Ninjak, and I didn't grab a copy this week because Ryan didn't pull it, so I'll have to have Ryan pull it. So Ninjaks, I believe it's number 14 is on the pull list. So just a lot of stuff going on. Today is technically April 5th. And if you don't know what that day that is and why it's significant, it is the day that Star Wars The Force Awakens comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital. It's been out for purchase on digital since the 1st of April, which I think a lot of people might have thought it was a joke, so they didn't buy it. But I grabbed my copy today of Star Wars Force Awakens, and I cannot wait to watch it tomorrow. It is way too late to start watching it tonight. So that's it for the pull list. Pretty tired. I did get caught up on a lot of my TV shows while I was ill this weekend, so that was a positive. I finished reading a book, which actually I finished reading 2 books these in the past week, and the first one was Star Wars Tarkin, which was really good. I enjoyed it very much, seeing kind of a backstory to Grand Moff Tarkin, even though we know what happens to him. And then I finished reading Star Wars Heir to the Jedi, which was a odd book because it was told in the first person, and it's the first person of Luke Skywalker. So it was a little hard to kind of get into at first, but it flows very well. It's not anything too significantly deep in like thought stuff or thought process. But I did enjoy it. It was a fun book to read. Not one I would highly recommend to people reading for Star Wars material, but it was fun and engaging. So, so that's it. Thanks again for watching. Please remember, leave comments down below. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. You can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 255, where we discuss DC Rebirth. Toby was on and talked about his WonderCon experience, and we got his BVS, his view on BVS. So go ahead and check that out. There's a link in the description below for you to check out. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon for as little $1 a month. You help us with hosting and getting some pizza before we eat, even though I don't eat the pizza because I'm vegan. Yeah, appreciate all the help from our Patreon people. Really, really do. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, that's it. So guess what? I'll see you next week.